very sanctified. In the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ mentions that as-sanatu ithna ashara shahra, that the year has 12 months. Arba'atun hurum, there are 4 sanctified ones. Thalathun mutawaliyat, the 3 months which are continuous. And he says Dhul Qa'dati, Dhul Hijjah, and Muharram and Rajab. So altogether there are 4 months, and these 4 months are the sanctified months. So the reason why they are sanctified, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made them sanctified, and from the time of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, these months are very highly respected, honored and sanctified, and the people of Makkah Mukarramah, they continue to honor these 4 months. To this extent, even though they had the tribal wars, they had the tribal battles, but in these months they never used to have any battles. So these months, the Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, Muharram and Rajab, these 4 months they would try not to fight, not to have any kind of skirmishes, not to have any kind of arguments with different groups. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala retained that and said, yes, these 4 months, they are very, very sacred. So of these 4 months, there is the month of Muharram. Month of Muharram has just started. We are on the 5th of Muharram now. So basically, what's going to happen is on the 10th of Muharram. We know about the 10th of Muharram, how important it is, and the month is the month of fasting, especially the 10th of Muharram. The Prophet ﷺ says, "Afdalu siyami ba'da shahri Ramadan, shahrullahi al-Muharram." That the most virtuous fast after the month of Ramadan is the month of Muharram. So in that hadith, it doesn't just say 10th of Muharram. It says the entire month. So after the month of Ramadan, it is best for us to fast throughout. So, for example, it's the 5th of Muharram. So these 3-4 days that has passed by, so we need to fast anyhow. But if you didn't, at least the Prophet ﷺ has mentioned about fasting on the 10th of Muharram. So in the hadith, Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu says, فَلَمَّا قَدِمَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم الْمَدِينَةَ صَامَهُ وَأَمَرَ بِصِيَامِهِ. When the Prophet ﷺ migrated from Makkah Mukarramah to Medina Munawwara, he fasted on the day of Ashura, and he ordered all the people to fast as well. So then he says, فَلَمَّا فُرِضَ رَمَضَانَ كَانَ هُوَ الْفَرِيضَةُ. But when the fast of Ramadan became obligatory, then that remained obligatory. وَتَرَكَ Ashura, then he left Ashura. In other words, he discontinued fasting as a faraz. But he says in the authentic books of ahadith that even though the month of Ramadan fasting became obligatory, the Prophet ﷺ continued to fast. So before the month of Ramadan fast became compulsory, the Prophet ﷺ used to fast Ashura continuously. To this extent, the scholars say it was faraz, and then when Ramadan became faraz, that stayed as an optional, as a sunnah. So the Prophet ﷺ, he mentions that فَلَمَّا فُرِضَ رَمَضَانَ كَانَ هُوَ الْفَرِيضَ وَتَرَكَ عَاشُورَ, and then he said مَنْ شَاءَ أَصْوَامَهُ وَمَنْ شَاءَ تَرَكَهُ. The person who wants, he could fast. A person who doesn't, he can leave it. But the Prophet ﷺ continued to fast. He used to fast on the 10th of Muharram, because when he heard the Jews, they were fasting, and he asked, why are you fasting for? They said Musa ﷺ was saved from Fir'aun, and his people were saved from Fir'aun, and they were saved from the water, drowning into the water. So for this reason, they, as a happiness, as a celebration, the fast. So the Prophet ﷺ said, "Nahnu ahaqqu bi Musa." We are more entitled to Musa ﷺ. We are more close to Musa ﷺ. So this fast of Muharram, so this time it will fall on next Thursday. That will be Ashura. And the Prophet ﷺ has said to differentiate between us and the other religion, the Judaism. So basically what we need to do is prefix a day. On the 9th, that will be a Wednesday, or suffix another day, that will be Friday. So from this we understand that the best thing to do will be to fast the entire month if we can, because that's the most virtuous fast, like the hadith mentions. أفضل الصيام بعد شهر رمضان شهر الله المحرم. If we can't, then the second stage is trying to fast on the 9th, 10th and 11th. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If we can't do that, then fast on 9th and 10th, Wednesday and Thursday, or Thursday and Friday. And if we can't even do that, then the least amount that we should be doing is fasting on the month, on the 10th of Muharram, which is called the Ashura. So this day, we should be fasting. The Prophet ﷺ, the hadith of Muslim, he mentions, "Siyamu yawmi Ashura, inni ahtasibu ala Allahi an yukaffir as-sanata allati qablahu." That the fast of Ashura the Prophet ﷺ is saying, I hope from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that through that one fast, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive the sins of the entire year. So that's how blessed that day is. So we need to try to fast. And this fasting, unfortunately, the month of Ramadan finishes, we stop fasting. The Prophet ﷺ, he had this noble habit of fasting every Mondays and Thursdays. But we don't act upon that. We need to get this habit of fasting. The Prophet ﷺ, he did this fasting, and even now the medical doctors, they have come to the conclusion that a person, if he fasts on Mondays and Thursdays, on 2 days a week they have said, and obviously we see the Prophet ﷺ fasting on Mondays and Thursdays, then subhanAllah, this will take out all the toxics in the body, and it will keep the body healthy. The medical doctors now, after 1400 years, they have come to that conclusion. The Prophet ﷺ has mentioned this 1400 years ago. So we need to get the habit of fasting, especially this month of Muharram. We need to fast and then make a habit, because especially now days are becoming shorter. It will be straightforward to fast on Mondays and Thursdays. If we could fast in the month of Ramadan for continuously 1 month, then why can't we fast Mondays and Thursdays? The Prophet ﷺ made it easy. In the previous nations, Sayyidina Dawud used to fast 1 day to break 1 day. So he used to make sure that 1 day fast, 1 day break the fast. But the Prophet ﷺ has given us more concession that you fast 1 day, 2 days you don't fast. Monday you fast, Tuesday, Wednesday, no fasting. Thursday you fast, then Friday is the weekly holiday, weekly Eid. And then Saturday, Sunday you don't fast, then back to Monday. So only 2 days a week fasting. So this month of Muharram, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this opportunity to get this reward. And especially in this month, there are other things as well that we should be doing, and things that we do wrong as well. For example, many of our brothers and sisters, they think this month is the month where this is very unlucky, that you shouldn't be carrying out marriages. The reason is because Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was martyred in this month. So this is a completely wrong idea, this is a completely wrong kind of opinion, this is a wrong kind of concept. Because if a person thinks in that way, because I will not carry out something because of a pious person, or because of a companion, or because of a prophet passed away or became martyred on this day, then there will not be a single day in the whole of the year where there isn't a pious person who passed away. So then every day will be unlucky. So because many people phone me, because when is the month of Muharram finishing? I said, SubhanAllah, you want to get the month of Muharram finished very quickly. Why? Because no, I want to stipulate and fix the date of my daughter's wedding or my son's wedding. I said, do it in Muharram. No, Muharram is very unlucky. So this is completely wrong. So we have to get the right kind of understanding that the month of Muharram is a very blessed month. The month of Muharram, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said this is a very sanctified, honored month. And especially the 10th of Muharram, in one hadith, he mentioned, especially, mashallah, we want to get barakat in our life. In the hadith he mentioned, Man wassa ala iyalihi fi nafaqati yawma ashura, wassa Allahu alayhi sa'ila sanatihi. That a person who spends generously upon his family, on his family members on the day of Ashura, then what will happen? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him wealth and will give him prosperity throughout the year. So by spending, so look at the barakah. So on that day we should be sitting down with our families, not going out and eating or working. So take some time out on the day of Ashura on Thursday before Maghrib Salah, then sit down with the family members and have something to eat and give some gifts to the family members, to the children, brothers and sisters. So in that way, subhanAllah, will be acting upon this hadith and getting the barakah throughout our year. So man wassa ala iyali min nafaqati yawma ashura, wassa Allahu alayhi sa'ila sanati. Person who is generous upon his family members, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be generous upon him throughout the year. So we need to get the habit of acting upon these hadiths and getting the barakat in our life. So at the same time, many of us, we do the wrong things. So we see the Shia, the people who have this show that they love the Ahl Bayt, but they are doing those things which Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu himself has said, no, don't do this. And the Prophet ﷺ has mentioned, the hadith is mentioned in Bukhari and Muslim and many of the authentic books of the hadith, that لَيْسَ مِنَّا مَنْ ضَرَبَ الْخُدُودِ وَشَقَّ الْجُيُوبِ وَدَعَى بِدَعْوَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ. That they are not from amongst us those مَنْ ضَرَبَ الْخُدُودِ, those who hit their cheeks. Who hit their cheek, they strike the body. ضَرَبَ الْخُدُودِ وَشَقَّ الْجُيُوبِ, they tear the clothes. وَدَعَا بِدَعْوَى الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ, and they proclaim and shout and chant the words of Jahiliyyah, of ignorance. So this is exactly what this group of people, the Shia, the Rawafid, they are doing in the month of Muharram. This is completely wrong. The Prophet ﷺ has prohibited from this. Even for the person that they're doing for, Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu, they're doing for him. Before he became martyr, he called his sister Zainab radiallahu ta'ala anha and said, "Oh my beloved sister, Ya ukhti, inni uqsimu alayk, la tashuqqi jayban, wa la tahmishi wajhan, wa la tad'i bil wayli wa thubur in halaktu." That, oh my beloved sister, I take an oath that if I die, if I become martyred in this battle, la tashuqqi jayban, don't tear your clothes, wa la tahmishi wajhan, don't strike your face, don't scratch your face, wa la tad'i bil wayli wa thubur, don't start calling for death and destruction upon yourself. So it's very clear for the person that these people are doing for, he himself has prohibited this. So we need to understand that in the month of Muharram to do these kind of things is completely prohibited. The Prophet ﷺ has prohibited it. For the person they're doing, he himself has categorically prohibited this action. And to think that these months, like nowadays, even these things, the Prophet ﷺ throughout his lifetime, he has said there's no such thing as bad luck. There's always good luck. You can take good luck from somebody. Like for example, somebody comes here whose name is Sahal or Suhail, and Sahal Suhail means easiness. So we can take a good look, mashallah, Suhail has come, inshallah Allah will make things easy for us. These kind of things, good look, taking a good look, that's very good. Somebody is called Bashir, he comes, inshallah will get glad tidings. But taking bad look is completely wrong. Like the hadith says, La adwa, wala tiyarata, wala hammata, wala safar. So the Prophet ﷺ had to clearly say to the people that La adwa, that we have this understanding, La adwa, that illnesses, they're contagious. That illnesses pass from one person to the other. The Prophet ﷺ said, no. La adwa. Allah is the one who gives the illness. It doesn't pass on. If Allah wants to pass it on, then He will. Or else it doesn't pass on. There's no such thing as contagious disease. Then wala tiyarata, then He says there's no such thing as bad luck. Nowadays we do many things which are of this category. For example, people think odd numbers are bad. That many buildings in many parts of the world, they don't have number 13. So it goes from number 1 to 12, then it goes to number 14 floor. There's no number 13. No, if you live on the number 13 floor, you're going to die. Something's going to happen to you. So la tiyara, there is no such thing as bad luck. That people, when they go out and they see, subhanallah, black cat in front of them, that's it, I'm not traveling now. It's bad luck. In the olden days, they used to get a pigeon or a bird and these two flight. If you used to go towards the left, they used to say, no, the journey is going to be bad. I'm not going to travel. So, wala tiyara, bad luck is completely wrong. So he says, wala tiyara, don't take bad luck from anything. Because even like the unusual thing is, the weird thing is, that in Islam, subhanahu, odd number has been praised. Allah subhanahu, the Prophet ﷺ said, Inna Allah witrun yuhibbul witr. Allah is one, He loves odd number. Wal fajr wal layalin ash wal shafi'i wal watr. What? He refers to the odd number. So basically, we are doing everything opposite to the Quran and Hadith. So wala tiyar wala hamma. In the olden days, they used to think that if an owl was outside at night time and is making some noise, usquni, is making that noise, they used to think, no, this owl is telling me to take revenge from my enemy. Usquni in Arabic, saqa yasqi means to pilana. Mujhe khoon pilao. Give me blood. So this was the thinking they had. Usquni. So they used to start fighting. Because just of an owl making this noise, so the Prophet said, wala hamma, there's no such thing as the owl making noise and you go and fight. Wala hamma. Wala safar. After month of Muharram is safar. They used to say safar means sifar, zero. There's no barakat in that. So the Prophet said, no. This is completely wrong. So we need to realize that these superstitions, they're completely wrong. We have Islam as our guideline. The Prophet ﷺ has guided us 1400 years ago. Everything is very clear. So we need to make sure that in this month, those superstitions, they're completely wrong. Like, look, what do we do? Many of us, we think that Sayyidina Adam ﷺ was created on that day. There's no basis of that. Ibrahim ﷺ was born on this day. There's no basis on that. Ibrahim ﷺ, he saved from the fire on that day. Repentance was accepted. On that day, if a person does ghusl, then he will never become ill. So all these things have come into the religion which has no basis. So you will see, you will read about these kind of things. So they are not from any authentic ahadith. So the thing that we understand from the month of Muharram is that we should be fasting in the month of Muharram, firstly. Secondly, if you can't fast the whole month, we should be fasting 9th, 10th and 11th. If you can't fast at all, at least try to fast on the 10th of Muharram. Then as I mentioned, one thing that we can do is be generous on our family members on that day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be generous throughout the year for that person. So these are the things that we should be doing, and those things, mourning on the Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu anhu, the Ahl Bayt, these things are not permissible. Like, it reminds me, this Englishman, he went to India and he saw these people on the month of Muharram on the 10th, they were outside, they were demonstrating or they were marching, and they were striking the face and they were taking blood out from the body and all this. So he asked the person that, what are these people doing? Because they are mourning on the death of Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu anhu. He said, Subhanallah, they got the information after 1400 years. He was saying, they got the information after 1400 years. So these things, the Prophet ﷺ has made everything clear. What is the true love? Sheikh al-Hadith Mullah Muhammad Zakaria rahmatullahi alayhi, he was addressing his students, his disciples, and he said, how much Isa al-Swab have you given to Ahl Bayt? Have you given any sadaqah jariyah to the Ahl Bayt? So everybody was completely silent. So Sheikh al-Hadith Mullah Muhammad Zakaria rahmatullahi alayhi said, when the day of Muharram, when the first day of Muharram starts, until the end, I read entire Quran every day and do the Isa al-Swab. So these are the things that we should be doing. We do the wrong things. So we need to understand the true spirit of the month of Muharram and do the things which has been prescribed by our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, by the Hadith and the Quran, and then inshallah ta'ala will be successful. So in a summarized version, the things that we should be doing in this month, first of all, we should try to fast on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, 9th, 10th and 11th. If we can't, the 9th, 10th or 10th, 11th, which is Thursday and Friday, or at least if you can't fast any of these, the least is fast on the month of the 10th, the Ashura. Siyam yawmi Ashura, inni ahtasibu ala Allahi ay yukaffir sanata allati qablahu. That the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, the hadith is narrated by Imam Muslim rahimahullah ta'ala, that the day of Ashura, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, I hope that this will, one day of fast will erase and eradicate the sin of the entire year. That's the reward. So we should try to fast on that day, and also to spend generously on the family. That has been narrated by Imam Bayhaqi and Razin and so many other kitabs as well. So we can also act upon that as well. So these are the things that we should be doing, and those things which are superstition and those things which the Prophet ﷺ has prohibited, we need to fulfill and we need to abide by them, and we need to tell our brothers and sisters who are doing those kind of wrong things, tell them, look brother and sister, the true Islamic spirit is the way shown by our beloved Prophet ﷺ. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
أشهد أن